Good morning, beloveds. It is Friday. It is August 28th, and I am worn out. I didn't consider the stress that waiting for a hurricane would take, especially with our experiences from Harvey 3 years ago. So, yeah, make sure that you guys are getting some rest because it's I think it's taken more of a toll on us mentally and emotionally than we were expecting, and the hurricane didn't hit us. Unfortunately for Lake Charles, Laura moved back east, so take care of yourself mentally and emotionally and physically. It is very possible that the stress of waiting has taken more of a toll on you than you are currently thinking. So if you're really tired, accept it and rest. Just because the hurricane didn't hit didn't mean we didn't get a whole lot of stress from it. So, but reading Science of Mind, 365, August 28th. Our title is I receive because I ask in faith. Ask and ye shall receive. This is one of the most wonderful statements ever uttered. It implies that there is a power that can and will honor your request. But it is only as you let go of the lesser that you can take hold of the greater. Only as you drop confusion that you entertain peace. Only as you transcend doubt and fear that you can be lifted up to the hilltops of the inner life. In asking, you must identify yourself with the greatness of spirit. Permit your consciousness, through faith, to rise to a greater and broader realization that the divine presence that is always delivering itself to you. Say, through the quiet contemplation of the omni-action of spirit, I learn to look quietly and calmly upon every false condition, seeing through it to the other side of the invisible reality that molds conditions and recreates all my affairs after a more nearly divine pattern. I know that my world transmutes every energy into constructive action, producing health, harmony, happiness, and success. I maintain my position as a divine being here and now. I know that in this consciousness of reality is the supply for my every need, physical, mental, or spiritual, and I accept that supply in deepest gratitude. I permit a consciousness of wholeness to flow into my world of thought and action, knowing that it brings peace, harmony, and order all around me. There arises within me limitless faith in the unconquerable presence, the perfect law, and divine action. Okay. Ask and ye shall receive. That is a direct quote from the Bible. Ask and you shall receive. And that's one of the things that Ernest definitely believes. Ernest believes that you can have anything you want if you're willing to ask for it and you are willing to accept it when you receive it, or when it comes to you. So you have work to do in this process. One, you have to be willing to ask for what you want. And two, you have to have a big enough container when it comes to you. Which is why he follows it up with some, I'm going to say conditions, but that's not what I mean. It's just the best word I can think of at the moment. Okay, so this is, ask and you shall receive. This is one of the most wonderful statements ever uttered. It implies that there is a power that can and will honor your request. So Ernest firmly believes that there is a power that can hear and honor your request. That spirit wants to give you what you ask for as long as it is in the support of life. That's one of the conditions that I'm talking about. But it is only as you let go of the lesser that you can take hold of the greater. So there's two teacup phrases. One, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and filling your cup up. But the other thing is if your cup is full, then you have no room to accept anything else. So you need to do one of two things. Pour some of that stuff out of your cup or get a bigger cup. And if your cup is full of stuff you don't want, why not pour it out? And I fully support getting a bigger cup. Your cup of life should be enormous because Spirit wants to fill that cup of life up. But it is only as you let go of the lesser that you can take hold of the greater. Only as you drop confusion that you entertain peace. Know yourself. And when you know yourself, then you will be more at peace. You're not confused about who you are. You're not listening to who everybody tells you you are. Then you will know peace. It's one of the ways to get to peace. Only as you transcend doubt and fear that you can be lifted up to the hilltops of the inner life. That's a little bit more of an ask. I admit that. In asking, you must identify yourself with the greatness of Spirit. Okay, so when you are asking for, you must identify yourself with the greatness of Spirit, which is why we have the second part of treatment. The first part is realization. There is one power. The second part of treatment is unification, recognizing that you are part of that power. That power flows through you. So you have to identify yourself with the greatness of Spirit. Permit your consciousness through faith to raise a greater and broader realization of the divine presence that is always delivering itself to you. So, permit your consciousness. Consciously accept with faith that there is a greater and broader realization. Basically, there's more to the divine presence than you have seen. And so open yourself up to realizing that there is more and you can have it. All right, so the treatment part of this is, say, through the quiet contemplation of the omni-action of Spirit, I learn to look quietly and calmly upon every false condition, meaning I'm not going to let myself get spun out by conditions. I'm not going to get spun out by conditions. I'm going to quietly and calmly look at them and go, that's not the real truth. That's not truth with a capital T. Seeing through it to the other side of the invisible reality that molds conditions and recreates all my affairs after a more nearly divine pattern. So recognition that there is a divine pattern and that all we have to do is align ourselves more closely with the divine, and we will align more closely to that divine pattern. I would say that Jesus is probably as close as anybody has gotten to the divine pattern, but there are plenty of other teachers out there. The Dalai Lama is a pretty good example of living pretty close to the divine pattern. So I know that my word transmutes every energy into constructive action, producing health, harmony, happiness, and success. So if I am using my word in faith, thought wrapped in feeling, then that is bringing me into that divine pattern, which will produce the health, the harmony, the happiness, and the success. I maintain my position as a divine being here and now. That's a power statement. I maintain my position, so you maintain your position as a divine being here and now. I know that in this consciousness of reality is the supply for my every need. So basically, if I'm being conscious of reality with the big R, then I'm recognizing that everything that I need is right here. Physical, mental, and or spiritual. And I accept that supply with the deepest gratitude. There's no power greater than gratitude, because gratitude is simply another word for love. I permit a consciousness of wholeness to flow into my world of thought and action, knowing that it brings peace, harmony, and order all around me. There arises within me limitless faith in the unconquerable presence, the perfect law, and divine action. So, you know what? Today, I would say our mission is to ask. Ask for what we want and know that we'll get it. So the mission is to ask for what we want and have the faith that it is coming to us. Because frequently I think that we want and we don't ask. Whatever it is, we don't ask. And if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if you do ask, the answer may be yes, maybe, and it could be not right now. But rarely is the answer just a flat out no. And maybe when we ask for things, we find out, wait a minute, that's not exactly what I want. And then we can change or maybe we ask for something, we get it, and we go, oh, this isn't what I want. And we learn. So, just remember, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So ask for what you want and have faith that you will get it. All right. So I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Please do something to rest. If you are in this area, the hurricane area, we know where we live. And that's what I tell my father every time he checks on me. Yes, no, I know where I live. This is not my first rodeo. But we still need to make sure that we do some self-care both before and after, even if it didn't come to us. So please do that. And it is really bloody hot out there. Please drink plenty of water. Self-care is very, very, very important, and it is not selfish. As I said earlier, you can't pour from an empty cup. So open your windows. Open the windows of your soul. Get that breath of heaven so that you know that heaven is around you. Always. It is up to you to recognize it and bring more of it into your experience. Surround yourself with people that feel like heaven. Or beings that feel like heaven. So do something that engages your mind and your body today, but rest. We have been through an experience. And do what you need to do to make it a fantastic day. Remember that you are a beloved child of God in whom Spirit is well pleased. Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. today, power permitting. I know that they're having rolling brownouts in the Woodlands area because they're on the same power grid as Louisiana. So he'll be on when he can. And I would, and I'll let you know, I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like because we have the mobile food event with the Montgomery Food Bank tomorrow. We will be there. The food event is from 8 to 10. We will be there from 7 to 11. So I will get this up as soon as I can. Just be patient with me. All right. If I think about it, I'll just take it with me and maybe do it from the food event. That's a possibility because I can do that. I've got good streaming. Have a fantastic day, beloveds. All right. Please drink plenty of water and do a little self-care.